All right, we're live.
We're live.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It is 1 o'clock on November 7th. The State Board of Elections convened this morning when the polls opened, and we've been at ease for the past 7 hours. And now we're convening to do our business of the day. Let me start with the draft minutes of our October 17th meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the draft minutes? Moved and seconded. Does anyone have any changes to the draft? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Next, approval or ratification of county boards of elections replacements pursuant to KRS 117.035. Karen, can you walk us through that, please?
I will. We have several, looks like we have 9 replacements for ratification to County Board of Elections. Some are temporary due to health reasons, illness for today, and then a couple of new ones. If you would like, I can go through all of them if you would like to take them all together.
Let's vote on them together and let's just go through them all at once. Is that okay?
Okay, that'd be fine. So for ratification, the Oldham County has a new Democrat member to be ratified to serve on the County Board of Elections in Oldham County. The Bath County Board of Elections is replacing with a new Democrat member in Bath County. Laurel County is replacing a temporary in Laurel County for a period of time to ratify that as well. The temporary replacement, once the permanent County Board of Election member is ready to return, he will do a letter to the state board and he will be back on duty as the County Board of Election. As well, we have 6 temporaries, same situation for replacement temporary, and then they will write us a letter and let us know when they're back ready to serve, continue serving their term. Meade County is a temporary replacement for a Democratic member. They also had a temporary replacement for their Republican member in Meade County. McLean County is a temporary replacement for their Democratic member. Craig County has a temporary replacement. Union County is a temporary replacement for their Republican member. Rowan County is a temporary replacement for their Republican member as well. These are all for ratification. Again, these temporary replacements have been for due to illness, being out of town on election day. The County Board of Elections is in session all day on election day. Consequently, they need to have their full membership available during election day. So that's some of the reasons why some of the ratifications have to be temporary. I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, so can I get a motion to approve the 2 new members and ratify the 7 temporary members?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Just have it. Next, approval or ratification of additional precinct officers pursuant to KRS 117.0456 and 31 KR 4120.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, we have 4 counties that have requested additional precinct officers at locations, polling locations in their county. Allen County has requested 1 additional officer for 3 vote centers and 2 officers for 4 vote centers. Lawrence County has asked for 1 additional officer for 11 consolidated precincts and 2 officers for 4 consolidated precincts in Lawrence County. Then McCreary County has requested 1 additional officer for 1 vote center and 2 additional officers for 3 vote centers. Leslie County has requested one officer for 5 precincts. And I will turn it back over to you.
There's a C under,
Oh, pardon me, the C was,
oh, okay, great,
there wasn't a third,
very good.
sorry.
Okay, do we have a motion to ratify additional precinct officers as just requested?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I have a question. On the Leslie County one officer for 5 precincts. Does that mean
One officer for each of the 5.
so that's 5 officers?
Yes,
Okay.
one officer for each of the 5 precincts. So I
Got it.
guess, right,
Got
it would be 5 officers serving each of the 5 precincts.
Got it. I was gonna ask you how one officer was gonna cover all 5. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
We're good this
2
time.
seconds.
Next, number 5, approval or ratification of emergency precinct officers pursuant to KRS 1170455.
We have several counties that have requested emergency precinct officers. This is related to the ability to have party parity at each of the locations. Where a Democrat member may serve as a Republican and be sworn to cover that in an emergency, vice versa. An independent may cover as a Democrat. They're all sworn in to serve at the precinct locations. This is related to some of the inability to find enough poll workers to cover adequately in all the precincts and vote centers across their county. So I will just go through the ones that have made requests. Monroe County has asked emergency 1 officer for 6 precincts. So there we go. That the way that's worded.
For
that's
each of the
1
6.
officer for each of the 6. 2 officers for each of 2 precincts. Allen County, 1 officer for each of 2 vote centers, 1 additional. Harlan, 1 officer for 1 vote center. Muhlenberg, 2 officers for 1 precinct. Monroe, 1 officer for 3-day early voting. They were lacking 1 officer during the early voting period. And those again are for ratification. Additional on our addendum, Adair County also has 1 officer for 1 precinct, emergency. Edmondson, 1 officer for 1 precinct. Grant has requested 2 officers for 1 vote center. Hancock, 1 officer for 4 precincts, but that would be 1 officer for each of the 4 precincts. And 2 officers for each of the 3 precincts. Harlan, 1 officer for 2 vote centers, 1 officer for each of the vote centers. And again, another request came a little bit later, 1 officer for another single vote center. McCreary County, 1 officer for 2 vote centers, covering each of the 2 vote centers. 2 officers in 1 vote center. Metcalf, 1 officer for 1 precinct. Nicholas, 1 officer for 1 precinct. Harlan, 1 officer again for another vote center in Harlan County. And Leslie County, 1 additional officer for each of the 9 precincts. And I will turn that back over to you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, do we have a motion to ratify these emergency precinct officers?
So
as
moved.
listed? Second. Moved and seconded, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. So that exhausts our addendum, right? Good there. So next is number 6. Memorandum of Understanding with Davis County for 2023 Homeland Security Elections Security Project.
And I'm gonna refer that to Mr. House.
This is asking for the board to approve Karen to be able to sign the MOU. This is for the 2023 Homeland Security Grant. We worked with the Secretary of State's office and the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security to get this set up to purchase security truck carts for the counties to secure their ballots, their equipment, and be able to move and transport it from their locations to the precincts. These are steel cages. They are good for them because they have wheels and then they fold up for storage purposes, so they're really handy and accessible. So we worked with Davis County to be the pass-through county on this grant this year, and we're just asking for the board.
I move approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let's have it. Next, approval of service contract for 2022 state and local government cybersecurity grant program.
And again, I'll defer that to Mr. House. He's worked closely with the Department of Homeland Security on this.
Again, this is a 2022 state and local government cybersecurity grant. We worked with them on rescope with them because it was 2022, and I don't think the money was allocated by the federal government in time, so we had moved on into another project, and this is going to be to purchase portable communication cases, and these are used in the most rural areas to get connectivity for the e-poll books. So we're just asking for approval on this service contract.
These cases are pretty incredible in the connectivity that they can provide in many of the rural areas.
We recently tested it in Floyd County. We had tried MiFi's, we tried Cradle Points, but these things were tested and they worked. Back during COVID times, Homeland Security, some of the emergency management agencies purchased these and used them in the field. And so we had Chris Wall went out and tested in his area and it worked really well. So this will be the ultimate, hopefully quick fix for this problem.
Very good. Do we have a motion to approve? Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 8, Executive Director.
Well, I don't have a formal report, special meeting. It's election day. Just want to remind everyone, get out and vote. You have till 6 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time, whatever your prevailing time is. And if you have any questions at all, you can go to our link, govote.ky.gov, find your polling location, check the status of your absentee ballot, or you can call our office at 502-573-7100, and we're more than happy to direct you in whatever question you have. We'd be happy to direct you there, or you can call your local county clerk. They're happy to help as well. I will say that the county clerks have certainly worked very hard to ensure that this is a safe and secure election. As we all have, Secretary of State's office, State Board of Elections, we want everybody to feel that Kentucky has taken good care of them as they go to the polls today. So I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, any questions or comments for Karen? Thank you. So our next item is to confirm our next meeting date. I might reword that slightly. I think we will need to have a meeting on December 4th, but it's possible we'll have to have a meeting before that, depending on how close any of our elections are today. So why don't we do this? If we need to meet before the 4th of December, we'll do that. The chair will call and we'll check all your schedules to see what works for you. But for that, let's plan to meet on December 4th, which I believe is the deadline for us to certify the results of the election. I would suggest this, instead of confirming it, I think we should say this is the intent and leave ourselves a little bit of wiggle room. If we don't have any recounts coming out of this thing, then maybe we can meet sooner and maybe there's a better, more convenient day for the members. So we'll leave this as tentative, if that works for you all, a tentative meeting for December 4th, and then we'll call it as we need. Next, we need an executive session to discuss pending litigation and security under KRS 61-810-1. Can I get a motion for that?
So moved.
Moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we will come out of this soon, and then we do have potentially other business to conduct afterward. But for the